out of the box or out of the wall, whatever we want to call it, we have, oh, I hit it right. I had to make sure. Bad Boys Now 2. So this is Michael Bay's, I want to say, fourth film. It goes Bad Boys, then it goes The Rock, then it goes Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, and then Bad Boys 2. So I lied. This is actually his fifth movie. And you could tell he has increased drastically with what that filmography is. But is Bad Boys 2 better than the first one? I do absolutely think so. Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon reviewing Bad Boys 2. First off, timeout. I'm going to give props to Reggie. And who is Reggie, you're asking? Remember in this newest trailer where he's like, you needed to deploy because he's a Marine? That guy. His filmography in IMDb is Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 3, and Bad Boys 4. So props to him to sticking with this franchise. That's all I'm going to say there. It is the same actor. But anyway, what's this about? Pretty simple premise. You're still in Miami, still doing with drugs by, however, Cubans, Russians, DEA from New York, as well as the Miami PD. Gotta figure out where these ecstasy tablets are going because they do kill people, and there's a shit ton of them out there in the Miami landscape. So, did I like this film? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is one of my best action films when I was growing up. Like, I remember Bad Boys 2. I remember the Hummer scene. I remember loving it. I remember the freaking car chase on the highway where it's like cars falling off that ramp thing. Absolutely bonkers. And rewatching it in 4K, it's still freaking awesome because it is realistic. It is someone testing these cars out, going on a highway, and flipping these shits. It is them building a shanty town and putting this Hummer through the fucking wrecker. And it is freaking awesome. Blowing up a house. Absolutely awesome. That's mad lad Michael Bay to the max. So, you already know what I'm saying. The action set pieces are freaking amazing. They're just awesome. And this is, again, where you have Michael Bay doing a circle camera thing. Freaking awesome. I'm curious how he does it because this is freaking awesome. And I did watch some behind the scenes about this. And Michael Bay is one of those directors, he will get his hands dirty. He will make sure the stunt people get their hands dirty. And the actors themselves will try to get their hands dirty because he's like, yo, this is your job. Do the shit and do it right. And I really enjoy that as a director who's also like, you know how you have the first unit directors and normal directors? Usually the second unit directors are people doing the action set pieces, or not. They're not doing the dialogue part. They're actually doing the action parts. Michael Bay's like, nah, I'm going to get this camera and do this myself. And I truly enjoy that as a director who's willing to say, like, stop the bullshit and, you know, kind of be a dick. And people say he's a dick. I don't think he's a dick. He just has a passion, and don't get in his way because he has a vision. He's going to freaking show it. So I do think Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, the bantering works again. I know that's why a lot of people didn't like this movie. They thought it was too much bantering, but I think it works completely fine. Michael Shannon is also in this movie for a little bit as a KKK member. Kind of awkward to see him in it, but I think it's actually funny that he has this really, really small role overall. Gabrielle Union's also in it. Yeah, she married Dwayne Wade, and they're doing that weird, like, grooming. But anyway, so that's not about this movie. But I think it's directed well. The technical aspects of being an anti-green screen movie, I'm freaking loving it. I'm freaking loving Bruce Willis. I'm thinking about Armageddon now. I'm freaking loving Martin Lawrence. I'm freaking loving, you know, Will Smith being in this movie and being funny, like when they need to be. Like, there's some scenes that are supposed to be really serious. Then the morgue scene comes, hysterical. Or the scene where they see Reggie, hysterical. Like, you could tell the bantering and just the funness overall is really good. Can someone say that the 2 hours and 22 minutes is a little bit long? Sure, but I don't really have an issue with that. And I do think Michael Bay, he likes longer movies when you think about it because, you know, Bad Boys is about 2 hours, and you have The Rock is about 2 hours. And then Armageddon and Pearl Harbor go extremely long. Then Bad Boys 2 kind of goes, you know, a little shorter than both of them, but it's still 2 hours and 22 minutes. And I can't remember what he does next. It's not Transformers. It is The Island, then Transformers. And I think The Island is still over 2 hours. Then you have Transformers that are all going over 2 hours. So Michael Bay does love those over 2 hour run times. And I think that's enjoyable because what he does behind the camera, and he really digs it. Yeah, like I said, you can say some negatives. It is a little bit long, and that maybe some of the characters are very one-dimensional, especially the bad guys, where it's a very simplistic story. And you can say, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's if, ands, or buts. But you're going in this movie to see some balls to the wall action, balls to the wall comedy, balls to the wall buddy cop bantering. And I think Bad Boys 2 does it for me. Will it do it for you? If you hate Michael Bay, probably. But if you could take Michael Bay out of the equation and not know it's a Michael Bay film, yes, you could say there is some annoying bantering, but you're going to go in there for some solid A+ stunt work, A+ directing, and A+ action sequences. So Bad Boys 2 will receive a 4.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 90%. Let's see what the Critics' News scores gave this one, and I know for a fact they didn't like it because the critics suck sometimes. So we have critics a 24% with 186 of them. Audience score is 78% with over 250,000 critic consensus. 2.5 hours of explosions and witless banter. And sometimes that's all I freaking need. And this movie, I think, cost $130 to make and what was like 200 and something worldwide. So did it make its budget back? Probably not in the theater, but it sure did when the VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray sales came, if I'm not mistaken. Let's do a quick cut. 3, 2, 1. So yeah, worldwide was 273 million. I just wasted your time. So what was it? 24, 78, 90. Chase Leon here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Butontopia. You Blue Futon, saying watch, have a great day. I don't care what to say tomorrow, week from now, a month, or a year from now. Every single freaking one of you. And yes, now it is time for Bad Boys for Life. Because Ride or Die is the 4th one. Yes.